Just introducing myself, I'm Cheryl Bellamy, and I'll be leading this Fastman presentation today. I've worked as a principal consultant in the OT area for the last, I don't know, more years than I want to say, and I work out of the Sydney office. I'm joined by one of my colleagues, Renita, who works out of our US office, who will also be helping me with the webinar today. On the call, we also have Alistair Grigg and Victoria Grigg from our CEO and founder and our marketing partner manager, and Anthony Hall, who some of you may know, who is an experienced senior consultant in the ANZ region. So what we've been doing is we're really looking at showcasing our work with open text content management, which some of you might know as formerly as extended ECM. And I'd just like to quickly, Renita just jumped off the camera. I was going to get her to say hello, but so Renita, do you just want to say hi?
No, I can always jump back. So, hi
Okay.
everyone. Thank you for
Hello.
the introduction. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what we're just going to be covering today is why services matter in the open text world, beyond just the projects that we do for you. We'll also cover some of the common challenges we're seeing with our customers who have been running their ECM environments for a period of time. And I'll give you a bit of a description for those of you that don't know who we are and what we're doing in the ANZ region and more globally. Our services approach and the delivery models, options that are available to you. Some of you might be using them, some of you not, and see what the options are. And then I'll take you on a real live example from one of our Australian New Zealand customers. And lastly, we're going to showcase a bit of our partnership with Answer Modules. And I'll be handing over to Renita for a real live demonstration of that part. So why does the system just not end once we implement for you? So investing in your content management solution is really a long-term business strategy. And although the initial project might finish, your platform still continues to evolve and change over time. And we've observed that sometimes the biggest challenges that present themselves are actually after the initial go live. And that's where Fastman team can actually add some value. The typical challenges that we've seen facing our customers are really around their changing business requirements. No business is very static, it changes, and that will always impact your content management solution. There's also your evolving governance and compliance needs. This can be driven both from the business, from legislation, or from policy changes, and it's how you manage those that can have an on-lasting benefit to your customers. AI is the big buzzword at the moment, and it's actually essential for customers to actually get their security, their governance, and those sorts of things in place before you actually embark down an AI model to ensure that your knowledge, your assets cannot be shared where they shouldn't be. As you would know, there's new users, teams, ownership, and they all impact. You have operational incidences and configuration issues, and also we find that you often have limited capacity to do this sort of work yourself, and that's where the Fastman team can help and step in. Because really, a successful content management is really about your continuity. It's about having a trusted partner, and a partner such as Fastman who can understand your environment over time. So a little bit about Fastman. Was founded in Australia in 2006, and it's grown to be a global business since then. So rather than remaining a local services provider, we made a conscious decision to expand the business beyond our services, and we went over into looking at products and also in the international market. So we continue to be active in this region, in the Australia-New Zealand region, but we also now have a presence in North America and in Europe and Southeast Asia. And we continue to develop our own product set. Fastman's a leading open text technology partner, and we've provided solutions mainly across the content management product suite. And we've now started working in core for content management as well. So the sorts of things we will cover our solutions a little bit further in the presentation, but it touches on things such as bulk data management and permissions management in our product area for those of you that are familiar with that. As part of our expansion, we've also partnered with organisations. As you're aware, we're an open text partner across services, technology, and Solex. And we're also cloud certified, which means for any of our customers who are going to the cloud, we have been certified in that area. We are a partner with DocuSign and SAP, and more recently we've started up a partnership with Answer Modules. And at the end of this presentation, Renita will give a live demonstration of that and how we've integrated that with our product set. So when we talk about Fastman and us and our as an organisation, we have what we call 3 business lines. We have our Fastman Management Suite, which is really a toolkit, our product toolkit, which helps you simplify control, streamline processes, and to empower for self-service. We also have our managed services, which is the team that I essentially work out of. I work in the services area. And thirdly, our third line is the Fastman management agreements, which is associated with e-signatures and approvals. And we're not really going to be covering that today, but if anyone wants more information, I'm more than happy to give you some information on that after the session today. Within the ANZ region, the services area is where we have had the most focus in recent years. And what we can offer to our customers, or what we do offer to our customers, is really a boutique governance first approach. We work hands-on with our customers. We don't just offer a cookie cutter type service, and that service that we offer can be flexible and is set up to meet your specific needs. We have some customers who have just require a little bit of our services because they have an advanced team at the back end who can provide that level of support. And then we have others that want us to take total ownership of their support and their enhancements moving forward. So we can be flexible to work with whatever you need as part of your day-to-day operations. The types of services that we can provide in our managed services offering relate to incident and troubleshooting handling, can be around your configuration and admin support, making changes to those. We also look at health checks and monitoring your system. We can do governance and access reviews, look at any upgrades or built-in upgrades, patching, migration support, and as well as looking at improvements and recommendations to enable you to have changes in the future as your business changes. Over and above just our standard product management set, we also provide services in the areas of records and content lifecycle management, process and governance reviews, any workflow development and ongoing support. We can look at designing and redesigning dashboard and creating reports. And we also can look at M365 integration with content management. Typically, these are managed as projects, which are an add-on to our managed services, but are managed by the same team. It's just an adjustment or an additional statement of work that we extend to allow you to do that type of work. Fastman services in this area are typically aimed at customers who have OpenText content management or core for content management. We want continuity and support, who want continuity and support for their ECM environment going forward. Just beyond the put it in place and now here's the system that you've got. If we don't work with you, or you don't actually manage your customer, your users, to take ownership and to use and to get the best out of your system, then at times people will say, well, why am I actually using a content management system? What's this for? This is too hard. We need to make the service that we're offering as easy for the users to use and make them want to use it, so you get the most benefit out of it. So that means that we need to look just beyond the initial project. We need to look at changing your changing business needs and making sure that your environment still can meet your governance, still be stable, can adjust to volumes and changes. So you may get additional users come on over time, your document volumes grow. All of those things will or can impact how your system is running, and it's important that those are looked at collaboratively and proactively throughout the life cycle of your solution. And that's where Fastman the management services offering can come into place. We are a boutique trusted service provider and have been working in this area in this region for 20 years. And we, as I've said, we are hands-on, and we like to be just an extension of your team, not seen as a third-party organisation. We really want to work with you to achieve your goals. So how do we deliver these services? We've broken it down into what we would call 3 service layers. We have our reactive support, we have what we call our pre-act or our proactive, which is oversight, and then we can also provide strategic guidance or proactive level of service for those customers that want that. And by having those 3, we find that it works together to protect and enhance your platform over time. So if we just take a look at each of those individually, reaction is really what happens when an issue occurs or when something breaks. It's the first line of defence. We can provide issue and incident triage, and we have our own case management system where customers can log tickets and they can be managed and monitored via that system. In addition, we've got resources that are around, we call them our little guardians. Do you like our little guardian little characters. So we have resources around the globe, and hence, because we aren't just a local resource, we can provide for those customers that need it 24/7 support for anyone who really requires that. We can also require ad hoc weekend or after hours support for specific use cases like DR or that as and when required. Following on from a react, if we're just reactive, then we're not really building and helping your system grow or to make use of your investment in that. So what we also offer is what we call our pre-act or our proactive service. This helps us to find issues or minimise the risk of issues before they actually occur and impact our business operation. And the way we do that is by having what we call some regular health checks. We look at current system usage, volumes, predicted growth, look at your system logs, etc., to get a sense of how healthy your system is at the moment. We can also look at governance and risk monitoring, reviewing of permissions, patching for security threats, monitoring for security threats, and advising of what we believe the threat to your usage of the solution is at the time, and that's something that we will proactively do for our clients. So ultimately, it will, as I said, hopefully prevent issues from occurring before they actually occur. And lastly, the offering that we give is our proactive service. And what that does is it enables you to position yourself for the future. So we look at your business plans or what you might want to do over the upcoming period. We look at whether you're planning to do some support, because it's important to keep your upgrades as close to up to date as possible to take advantage of the investment in your platform. And typically what we've found when we're looking at this proactive type approach, what works for most of our customers is to set up at the beginning of their contracted period a plan for the 12 months. We look at when they might want to introduce their their regular patching, how frequently, whether they want that quarterly, half yearly, etc. Are they interested in annual health check, and when would make most sense of doing that within the time frame? And then more importantly, we look at what future business work or enhancements you might know that you might like to have or that are coming up on the radar. Ideally, going through that, we can then help you to provide high-level estimates of what that work might look like, so it can get into your project and budget planning, and we can then prioritise what's important to you and work through that plan over the 12 months of our services agreement with you. And we found that by doing that, the benefits for our ANZ customers and our global customers, so you can see we've got a sample of our customers that we've got down below. We've got Austracwell, Melbourne Water and Misu highlighted in the Australian-New Zealand region, and also the Federal Loans and Life Care, which is an insurance company in the US. And we've got the European Central Bank and the Directorate of Quality Medicine in Europe. So we're covering quite a diverse range of verticals, from government, utilities, finance, insurance, health and infrastructure. And what we find that our customers have, we can provide that deep local presence in the region, and we can give you that boutique hands-on delivery service. We're not just a factory model. But because we are also a global organisation and we've partnered with other organisations such as Answer Modules, we're able to give you our knowledge and our perspective, not just from the local region, but more from the global market and experiences across other customers and other partners, and we can add value to you and your business in the local region. I'd like to just showcase one of our customers, who is Well Networks. They work out of New Zealand. They're in New Zealand, and they deliver power to 160,000 users in New Zealand's North Island. We have been working with Well for over 10 years in both. They're both a product, so they're a managed service line, and they're services. So they have products and services from Fastman. Their initial challenge was that as their content management environment expanded, their permissions became more complex and time-consuming to manage, and they needed clear visibility of who had access to what and the ability to govern and manage that level of risk. So they came to Fastman, and we helped them with a solution by implementing Fastman Permission Manager. What that allowed them to do was to gain centralised visibility and simplified access to the administration features, so that they could be ready for any audits in the future and that they had control over the documents and who had access. In addition, they also used Fastman Management Services, so we continued to help them with their upgrades, with any proactive solutions, with business changes. So we didn't just implement their permission manager, we continued to be a trusted partner with them, and to this day, they are still one of our managed services customers. And the benefits that the customer found were that there was a significant risk reduction. They were able to simplify their security management. I know if any of you have tried to do bulk changes of permissions, or to look at who's got permission to a document or to content in content management with out-of-the-box features, you would know that at times that can be challenging. And the Permissions Manager module, they found, helped them significantly gain control and confidence in their ECM platform. And as I said, we're an ongoing customer to this day. So I touched on Permission Manager in that discussion, and Permission Manager falls under our Fastman management suite of our business lines, and that's where we have continued to build additional add-ons to the Fastman, to our products, to enhance your use of content management. We have a number of products available The ones on the left are all but essentially permission management based, and they work seamlessly together to give you a complete control over it. Our foundation product is Permission Manager, has evolved over time and has some additional add-ons. So it can have an add-on for Outlook so that you can share links securely that way. We've also given extended that to not just to permissions at the document level, but to have access over specific functions and to control and look at your licenses. And our last add-on that has been very useful to some of our clients is the ability to use time-based access. Time-based access allows you to give you access for a controlled amount of time. It's specific. It's really good for selected projects, for audits, etc., where you just don't necessarily want users to have access to a set of documents continuously, but they do need access granted for a period of time. And by doing that, you can actually change the permissions and they can be granted for a short period of time. The products on the right-hand side are related to more to our managing data, for correcting data, for updating data, and to helping with migrations. So businesses over time acquire new businesses, or they diverse themselves of different businesses. They also have data that they find are stored on drives or other areas or other data stores, which they may want to bring into control. And our bulk data manager can help do that by ingesting documents and also by updating in bulk any metadata on files where needs change over time. We have built and extended that product so that it now can work with the core product, core content management, so that users and businesses who are starting to go down that path can ingest their documents into that product and set up their metadata to go forward. So where to? We are an evolving business, and one of our most exciting things in recent period of time in the services area is our partnership with Answer Modules. So within the last 12 months, we have partnered with Answer Modules, which will enable us to give our customers additional features and functions over and above what's available out of the box with content management. Answer Modules is really a toolkit of different things which allows you to extend. It's very modular, and so it's been designed so that if you upgrade your content management, those modules actually upgrade with it. It's not core bespoke. It's not a core bespoke add-on over the top. It's designed to work with your content management solution. So the sorts of things that we can do with our Answer modules is to look at, it's got a number of different streams or different options of what you can use it for. One of its use cases is for enhancing your business processes. It can add value to over and above what's available out of the standard content management forms. And the other advantage is that you can actually take ownership of a lot of the forms design and how the look and feel and the change without having to rely on third-party vendors for ongoing modifications. Quite often, some of the workflows can get very complex when using out-of-the-box tools just to do what you want, but creating a framework using Answer modules, we're more readily able to pass that ownership to the business user and to let them own and manage it going forward. It also, because of the modular nature of the product, we found that it enables people to have faster insight and transparency of their data. They can easily create dashboards and reporting and present those to the business without, again, a lot of that can be done without the need for a lot of vendor intervention. The cost of ownership and change can be moved to the business where the business has the capacity and the desire to do so. we've found with the modular nature of it, it reduces the time from idea to delivery. So it reduces the cost of length of time of your projects and the overall your cost of the actual project and implementation. And lastly, it has like a cleaner and a simpler data structure. It doesn't necessarily rely on all of the data structures that are available in content management, but it works in synchronization with that, but has its own data structures, which allow you then to report and to manipulate that data without having to know all of the ins and outs of how the content management or the case management structure of data is stored within the open text database, which can, if anyone's had a look at it, can be quite interesting and challenging at times. So with that in mind, what we've done is we've actually integrated our Permission Manager product with Module Suite, and we've aligned the access control and some process extensions within OpenText Content Manager to give you a demonstration. The demo that Renita's going to give you, and I'm going to hand over to her in a minute, is there's two parts to it. One is we've done some customization of a column on just your standard content management screen to allow you to directly access the time-based access. And we've also adjusted some of the toolbars so that you can access that there. And then Renita will also show you the use of what's called OpenText Beautiful Forms, where we've linked it to one of our workflows, where a user can request access to a selected group of documents. So I'm going to be quiet for a few minutes and pass over to Renita.
Thanks, Cheryl. Okay, I'll share my screen. I hope you guys can see my content server if that's visible. Okay, thank you. So, yeah, what Cheryl was just describing is true. Content management system can get complex, and sometimes having dashboards or things which help you in your process is important. What I have done today is integrated answer module with two different functionalities of Permission Manager. One of them is a newer offering called Time-Based Access, which is an add-on module. It works great. It can provide you temporary access where the access is revoked, you know, at expiration, and user really don't need to go remember and update those permissions. It is done automatically by the system. What I've done today is I have created a custom column, which will tell me how many time-based access are enabled on a particular object. And as you can see, this is a custom column that I have added using the content script available from Answer module. What I've also done is I have added this as an override to my Smart UI pages, and that has helped me to query the permission manager entries, find out the time-based access which have been enabled, and then show that number to you. What you can also do is you can click on that number and it would take you to the time-based access. It really depends on your functionality. Over here, I am showing the time-based access view. If needed, we can show the permission manager dashboard as well. And then from here, if I want to make any changes, I could easily do that. Maybe someone needs to extend the date or add another. Alistair is on call, so I'll add him to the permission list. I could do that. And you can see that this gives you all the functionality of permission manager as well. Like the redundant flag is there, the metrics view, which is so liked by our end users, is also available. And as and when I do the changes and submit this, not only is this saving my temporary access, but when other people look into it and I refresh my page, you could see that the the count here has changed. And I haven't done any line of code or any custom development to do this. All this is being done using answer module, which resides as objects in my content server system. So if I need to do any modification to this, I could just go and change my script a little bit. If you see my screenshot from the webinar presentation, this had a click here link instead of this number. And I thought I can make it better last night. And I thought I'll add this number instead of just having a click here option. And it was done in probably less than 10 minutes, I would say. And you can see the benefit that I'm getting out of it. It gives me that very clear visibility, how many time-based access has been set. I could even use answer module to create dashboards and things like that, which are available to the end user in Smart and Classic UI. So that's one bit of it. The second bit that I've done is a small workflow. So you can see that I've added a clock button here, which is Fastman request access. Obviously, if you are a reader on the environment, you can launch Permission Manager dashboard. That's a configuration for us. From there, you may find out who the owner is, write them an email, and ask them for that access. With time-based access, we also allow owner with a minimum permission to grant time-based access even if they don't have the edit permission. So I've used that to my advantage today. I'm going to go to the education folder right over here. I don't have any time-based access right now. And I'm going to select one or two objects, and I also have that on my top button over here, right? So I can click on this. It will give me a prompt. Do you want to request time-based access for selected items? I'll say yes, and then it takes me to a workflow form. And then the way Answer Module have developed their ecosystem is very friendly and works well with workflows that come out of box from OpenText, right? So this is actually a workflow, a form template, and instead of a normal view, I've used the beautiful forms, which allowed me to drag and drop instead of writing HTML and JavaScript code. And then I was able to make this form also very quickly out of the box using the forms, right? You can see here, I don't have the clunky UI where I need to, click on a human icon, fill in the name details to do it. I can very well, type in names in here. Maybe I'll just type Brian's name in here. And then these are the nodes. If there were multiple, it would show everything. Owners, if they're different, it would show that. You can give a reason why you are asking for this access. So you can say, please provide temporary access for 2 weeks. Need to provide review comments, right? A perfect example of time-based access. And I'll say, I don't need full access, write access is good enough for this, and I'll submit this form. And what it does is it generates a workflow in the background. The workflow, if there are multiple, would route to different owners. If I just had a single document, it's just going to give me that one workflow. And then if I log in here, I've logged in as Renita, right? And let me just go to my assignment. I already had one. The second one just came through. And I'm opening my form right over here. You can see, I'm sorry, I started with admin, but it is requested for Brian. We have a very handy compare groups feature. If I want to see what group Brian and the requester are part of, I could very well see that just to compare their department, see what AD groups they are part of, understand the requester and requested for person a little better. And then I also have a link here to take me to Permission Manager, which will open this page for me. And then this is for Brian, so I can just type in that name in here is for 2 weeks. So I'll say 2 weeks for review, and then I'll confirm this and give him rights to edit the document, right? And I'm going to submit this real quick. And as this is done, you can see my page got closed. I'm back here, and then I can either submit it back. If I wanted to reject it, I could have done that as well. But this is a very simple flow to demonstrate beautiful forms and how answer module can very well work in a process with us. So I'm submitting the form, and that access has been granted, right? I go in here, refresh the page. This is the requester. I can see that has changed to 1 now, and I know that Brian has got the access. If I needed, I could have sent emails from my workflow using Answer module. They have a great content script option to send emails with custom subject lines and body. So I could have said, Brian, hey, you got access and this was requested by so and so person. So yeah, so that's my 2 bits for the integration that I had for you guys. I'm going to stop sharing, Cheryl, and
Thanks,
if you
Renita.
want to take,
I
yeah,
hope
if you want to take,
I hope
yeah.
that gave you all a bit of a flavour for what is possible. It was just with our integration, and as Renita said, she didn't spend a lot of time in actually um, putting that together, and we find that it really is got a good tool for making some very quick integrations between and just giving you that additional layer of feature and richness to your content management solutions.
Yep, thank you.
So realistically, that's really the end of what I wanted to cover today. But is there anyone who would like, let me see, can you, is there anyone who would have any questions that they would like to add? If they are, feel free to pop them up in the chat, and um, and we'll go from there. I can see that. Okay, Phil, thanks for that. Hello, I can see you there. Mm. Okay, I've got one question that's come up, which says that in the presentation they saw that we worked with core content management, um, and that they understand this is as an OpenText SaaS offering in the area. Can you provide more information on Fastman's experience with core content management? Okay, so um, quick answer to that is we've been working with core content management virtually since it was released by OpenText on the market. And we've actually developed the permission manager, or sorry, not permission, we've developed our data migration product as a core offering for core to enable people to actually take advantage of that offering to bring their content into the system, and once they've got it up and running, to be able to adjust any metadata as and when required. And because of our introduction and working with the product team and that from its inception, our resources across the organisation are quite comfortable and familiar with core content management. I've got another question which says, how can we find out more information relating to the answer module's capabilities? So with respect to that, I'd recommend what we do is we set up an initial consult to find out what it is you actually are trying to achieve, so that we can then tailor a presentation to meet your needs and give you a demonstration of the answer module's product and capabilities and anything that might interest you. As you can see, Renita built something with our permission manager. So if someone was interested in that, certainly we could demonstrate that. But equally, if someone's got a business process that they wanted us to look at, we could spend more time and looking at the beautiful forms and business processes, or dashboards or reporting. Depends on what part of the of that, and we can arrange a demonstration for that for you. So, are there any more questions at all? Well, if there are no more questions, I'd like to thank you for your attendance and just draw your attention to the contact details on the screen. We can be contacted by any of those methods. And if you happen to be in Sydney or in Singapore, please come and drop in at the summit. We're hosting the coffee cart at both of those events, and we'd be more than happy to have a chat at any time. And if you can't make those events and still want to contact us, please just drop us a line and we'll get back to you. So thank you everyone for your time.